Have you ever noticed that there are some agents that just seem to be getting deal after deal consistently, and there are others that seem to be constantly struggling to find their next deal? Well, after years of helping hundreds of home sellers and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on ads, I've unlocked a game changing advertising strategy that has generated consistent six figure returns for us. And here's the kicker: it's simpler and cheaper than you might think. Today, I'm revealing to you the exact ads that we're using to generate motivated sellers daily, how we position ourselves to crush the competition, and how you can easily create this for yourself. To start, I want to show you the leads that we generate and why this is so powerful. These are leads for just one of our agents. These are the type of leads that we have coming in daily. This is not the high volume, low intent, chase the leads down for 12 months just to tell you to go scratch type of lead. The contact rate is high and the meeting per lead ratio is also high. And these are the current ads that we're running to produce these leads. Now, if these ads look confusing to you, let me explain. These aren't the how much is your home worth ads. Why? Because people who fill that out are so top of the funnel that they're likely to never convert. Or you chase them down for 12 months just for them to list with someone else. Sound familiar? Yeah. At the end of the day, people who need to sell their house now want a solution now, not a sales pitch. So give them that solution. The reason why these ads work is that they speak to pain points that someone's going through today. For someone needing to sell their home immediately, it could be things like timing pressures, needing to close within a few weeks, condition of their home, afraid it needs work to go on the market, showings, disruptions. Sometimes people just can't go through the stress of it all, and then the emotional toll of selling. And most often, people just want it done. But how do you make these ads for your business so you can start getting motivated sellers in today? Well, let me show you how. Now, this is going to be a high-level overview of this process, but you can follow along with the cheat sheet in the description below to take it step by step. So there's a few assumptions I'm going to make as we're going through this. I'm going to assume you have a Facebook page. I'm going to assume you have a Facebook business page and an ads manager account, and it's set up for billing. Now, from there, we're going to go through and we're going to set up a brand new campaign here. But first, we're going to make sure that your pixel is actually installed on your website, because one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is that their pixel actually isn't set up for event conversions, just for maybe traffic coming to the site, which is okay. But really, at the end of the day, you want to make sure that your event is tracking and every lead is showing up properly in Facebook Ads Manager. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go to All Tools, and then you can go to Events Manager, and that will show you the pixels that you have for your ads manager for Facebook. And then it's going to show you if it's working on your website or not. So this is the one pixel that I have set up for this campaign. And you can see, hey, I've got traffic going here, 20, 30, 40-ish views a day. And then I have this second part here, which is what you're going to want to look for to see if it shows up as a lead. If it's not, that checklist will go through the entire process to show you exactly how to make sure your pixel is tracking for the lead conversion. Okay, so now that's kind of the back end work. And now where this comes in handy is in retargeting, which we'll go over in another video. But let's get back to the campaigns and starting a fresh one off here. So you're going to click on Create a New Campaign. And what I'm going to do is select on Leads as the campaign type. And for this, we're going to give it a name. I always like to use today's date as a name, and then we can put this as cold traffic for Sell It Fast. That's our website here that we use to convert the leads. So I am going to put the housing category for this. Now, you really want to do this. If you don't, Facebook will never approve your ads, right? And you will never get an ad to run. So make sure you select on housing for the category, country, United States, and then don't worry about the rest of it. We'll go to next. Now we're going to create an ad set. So you can see up in the upper left here, there's 3 different campaign settings. There's the campaign, which is the overview of, hey, what are you actually running an ad for? Then there's the ad set, which is for what you're targeting. Who are you targeting? Where are you targeting? Okay. And then you have the actual ad, which is the copy, the image, the words on the screen. So we are now on step number 2 on new lead ad set. So again, I'm going to come in and change this to today's date, which is what I like to do. And then the conversion location for us is going to be website. And we can set it to maximize number of conversion is completely fine. Don't worry about cost per result. It's going to do its thing in the background. Dynamic creative, you can test this to turn it on or off. So this will create different ads for the different platforms that the ads are going to run on. Daily budget. Okay, this is another one you're going to have to test. Depending on your market, you're going to have different results based on how much you're spending per day. A base number, I would spend no less than $10 a day. And you're talking, this is for a small market under 300,000 people, let's say. Okay, if you're in a medium-sized market, $20 is going to be about the minimum for Facebook to kind of learn your ads and put it in front of enough people to get anybody to click on it. Bigger cities, Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, Miami, Seattle, like you can probably spend up to 80 to $100 a day and be okay before you start to see ad fatigue, right? And this is where your ad is not going to be pushed to as many people as you would if you were actually spending less money. So this is a number week after week. Come in and check this, see how it's doing and where your lead cost is falling in, and adjust it as you see fit. Okay. Start date, end date. I don't like to put an end date because that kind of traps your campaign in and says, hey, we're going to spend X amount of dollars by this time. Just leave it open-ended. You can turn this off at any time. Okay. I don't schedule any budget increases. As far as the audiences go, we're not going to narrow it down at all. Okay. Facebook has actually been doing really well in figuring out over the last couple of years who your ads are for, right? They want to make sure that your ad dollars are actually getting spent properly and that you're converting leads, so that way you spend more money with them. Google's a little bit different, but Facebook here, we leave the audiences wide open, not to mention you try to narrow it down, and there's a good chance Facebook will axe your ad. They won't even let it run. Okay. Age group, same thing. Don't narrow it down. 18 to 65 plus. Men, women, don't narrow it down. Advantage placements is fine. Keep the settings as it is. Okay. Now here, the only thing you're going to set is on location. Okay. So what you can do is you can do a radius search from wherever you're at, with the minimum being 15 miles. You can't do any less than 15 miles in your area. So depending on how big your city is, that might be fine. You can go up to 20 miles, whatever you're comfortable with in getting leads for that area. Just set that. That is the only targeting you can really do these days on Facebook to not have your ads get kicked out. Okay, so now click next, and now we're getting into the individual ad. So again, I'm going to name this, but I'm going to put a number next to it because we will often copy these ads as they may die off. They may trickle off after a couple of weeks. They're doing good. And then boom, it's just like someone turned off a light switch. And so we'll actually copy it then. Maybe we'll change some words on the ad and then we'll rerun it to see how it does again. Okay, so that's very common with how we have our system set up here. Now, under the identity, you can have it run on your Instagram page as well or not, completely up to you. And then we get down to the ad copy. So we have tested many different things. So we actually ended up creating a tool here. And this is an AI image generator with all the AI trendiness out there. Now, the images stand out really well on Facebook, and they can create some controversial images. And I'm going to show you that here. You can actually use this for free. Just go to getsellerleads.ai, and you can generate images. This is a bot that we built that is geared towards generating images for home sellers. So I'm going to come in here and put in my prompt, sell my house fast in Denver. Okay. And what this is going to do, and it's going to take a minute or two to come up. It's going to come up with an image, and then it's going to come up with ad copy and description. This is where a lot of the gold is at, because the ad copy, is all the words that everybody's going to see. And we try to think up what we think is a good ad copy, but we don't know at the end of the day. AI is way better at generating this stuff than we could ever be. So first, what we're actually looking at here and what it kicks out is the primary text line, right? And it has 5 different options. Tired of waiting months to sell your Denver home? We'll buy it fast with cash, no hassles, no fees. Sick of dealing with picky buyers? Sell your Denver home to us and skip the showings. Need to unload your Denver property ASAP? Like, it gives you all these different options for primary text lines, for different headlines you can use, and then descriptions below it. So this is something that you should just put in, plug in, and completely forget about, right? You're going to find a combination that works for you. And then at the bottom, there's a link to what it creates for an image. Now, this one's actually not too bad. Oftentimes I find myself having to go through 2 or 3 different times to generate a good looking image that isn't weird looking or anything like that. But the bots are getting better and better all the time. So what you can do is, let's just save this image here. And we're going to pretend that that's the image that we're going to use. Use it a few times. And then under the primary text, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to take, which one? Need to unload your Denver property ASAP. We'll make you a cash offer you can't refuse. Great. Let's come on in here. Let's paste that in. Awesome. And then you can actually add other options. So you can come in here and you can put in 2 or 3 of them. So then it'll rotate through and it'll start to figure out what the best ad copy is for your ad. Headline, let's come back in here and I'm going to go Denver homeowners beware. Investors are scooping up properties left and right. Okay. Let's add another one. Skip the showings, open houses, and picky buyers. Sell us your Denver home for cash. Great. Awesome. Now description. I'm going to do the same thing here. Tired of Denver real estate circus. Awesome. Love that they use circus in there. Okay, we're going to add another one. And then... all right, so now we're going to point it to our URL. So this is where you type in your website address and then display link. I don't ever change that. If you want the URL to show something different, you can put that in here if you want. Okay, so now it's going to ask for what form we want. Go to none. Don't add a button. Don't put that stuff on. Sort of the call to action, learn more, is the most accepted one that we've tested. So under tracking, you want to make sure that website events and your pixel is selected. That is on your landing page or website. If it's not, you can click setup and then go through that process. So now here's some super secret sauce info. The AI images do well. We get leads in from anywhere from $50 to $100 per motivated seller lead, or you can lower your cost per lead by using an AI video. And we were able to do that with our AI bot that we created that you can get access to there. Go to getsellerleads.ai. And this is the type of video that it puts out here that you can see. We have an attractive woman with some screenshots of houses that we've bought, with client testimonials, things like that. It's way more engaging, and we can change that to however we see fit, right? So over time, we can learn what's working, what's not working, and we can just make a change to the video in moments and then relaunch that campaign. And the cost per lead goes way down. We've seen $30 to $40 per lead, which is what we were seeing, 10 years ago on motivated seller leads, before it got to like $300 a lead for motivated seller leads through Facebook and Google pay-per-click and all the other sources. So this is giving us quite the edge again. Back in the world of Facebook, we are just stomping the competition when it comes to generating leads using this process. And so if you want to see the preview of the ads just in the right, you can scroll down and see what this is going to look like on Instagram or Facebook, on desktop, mobile, anything like that. Now, if you feel like you missed any of these steps or you just need it to go at a little bit of a slower pace, go ahead, download the checklist in the description below, and you can take it through step by step in much more detail on how to set up these ads for yourself. But what kind of results are you going to get? Well, it completely depends on your market, median sales price, and how much you're willing to spend on the ads. Sometimes you can actually spend too much and then you have to dial it back to get to this sweet spot. Some ads will go stale over time and others will skyrocket, and the only way to know that is to test, test, test. Now, we have some sneaky little tricks we use to blow up our ads so it gives us the edge over everyone else in our market. If you want to discover our secrets, just watch this video and you'll likely to be shocked to see how we're doing this.